Welcome back to another edition of Fusion of Honor, where we break down everything that happens on MLW Fusion and Ring of Honor. Now, this week we have a lot to get to. There is the War Chamber match. There is Ring of Honor's Honor for All. As you can see, and as I alluded to during the last episode, I am unable to be joined by my co-host, the three-time baby-making champ. So, kind of stuck with me. But luckily, there's a lot of good matches to talk about and a lot of great things to get to. So right before we do, I got to remind you guys, hit that like button, comment, share, subscribe if you have not already. Now, War Chamber. Let's talk about War Chamber. It's a one-match show, basically. And I was a little confused by what happened, because the way I thought it was going to happen, and maybe this is because I'm not really that up to speed on Major League Wrestling's War Chamber match itself, was I thought it was going to be a lot like War Games or Blood and Guts. I thought that there would be what's it called? I thought it was going to be a two-ring scenario, as opposed to just, in essence, a cage match. So that threw me off a little bit. I'm not going to lie, guys. That kind of threw me off, because I was like, wait a minute, what is kind of going on here? This is supposed to be a lot bigger, a lot more room. You're going to put 10 people in this cage? Oh, man. This is going to get we're going to get packed out very, very quickly. So the War Chamber match itself was a little interesting, to say the least. So let's start with kind of who our players are. We know that we have the Contra unit itself, and with Contra unit we have a Kwan, we have Joseph Samael, who's not going to be there, but he is watching over everything. Say it that way. We have Mads Kruger, Jacob Fatu, and two Sentai Death Squad people. I don't know who they are. You don't know who they are. Nobody knows who they are. They're maskless. They're faceless. They're everywhere. Meanwhile, we have on our good guy team, or face team, which, holy shit, they couldn't come up with a better name as opposed to Hammerheads. Oh, man. Hammerheads in one cage. I don't know. But anyway, we have Alexander Hammerstone, we have Richard Holiday, we have EJ Duca, and that's all we know. We only know those three. We're going to find out who the rest are. Now, it felt kind of weird, because MLW refused to let there be any suspense. We find out that the first person from Contra unit is going to be none other than our former World Heavyweight Champion, Jacob Fatu. And then we find out that the first member of Team Hammer is none other than Matanza Duran, or Matanza Cueto, as you would have known him or remembered him from the underground days. And they pulled no punches. We knew that it was Jeff Cobb underneath the mask and in the overalls or coveralls back then. This time, we just have him completely take off the mask and the coveralls, and we can see that it is none other than Jeff Cobb. So the match progresses, and we have our next people entering from Contra unit, which is a Sentai Death Squad member, and then we find out that our next member in the match is Savio Vega. And it's like, what? Sprinkle in some of the people we know already, so we're not like, okay, whoa, who's it gonna be? Oh shit, they need somebody to save them, because the name of the game is that Contra unit will continually have the advantage. The first person that comes into the match after Cobb and Fatu start is a Sentai Death Squad member. Then Savio Vega evens the odds. Then it's a Sentai Death Squad member. Then we're gonna have somebody come and even the odds. So why not play with that a little bit and have maybe start off with Holiday, have Holiday be beaten down, and then have Matanza Duran save him. Then when numbers advantage comes in, you have EJ and Duca even the odds again. Now you have these three guys getting the shit beaten out of them. Now's when we have Savio Vega show up with his kendo stick. It just seemed, or I think I actually had a lead pipe, but it just seemed like a little bit of a mess, and it was a little bit messier to me because of the fact that it was one cage. So you had guys trying to sell on the ring, but there's not a lot of space for them to do all their different moves. We do see that the Sentai Death Squad members are coming in handy, though, to try to take out Cobb throughout the course of the match. And as you can see here, the ring just fills up with people. Way too many people that need to be there for this match. The match itself was good. I mean, it worked. We kind of tell the story, well, I should say, of Fatu and Mads Kruger having problems. Mads Kruger has been kind of asserting himself as the new leader of Contra, or as the leader of Contra, as though he always was the leader of Contra. And that's not really sitting well with Fatu. There are going to be miscommunications that happen during this match that are going to end up costing Contra Unit the match, as Hammerstone is going to be able to get the win. It just seemed as though once Hammer got into the match, that the match ended very, very quickly. And maybe that's because Hammerstone does have an injury. I don't know 100% if it's a legit injury or not, but based off of that, the match went very quickly. This match was under 23 minutes long when a War Games match would have gone for much, much longer. Now, granted, War Games and Blood and Guts are usually given the amount of time they have because there aren't going to be other things on the show, whereas this was the finale of a large-scale taping. So I can kind of understand why you want the match to move a little bit more quickly, because that crowd needs to be as amped as they can be. So I get it. I understand it. But it just felt as though the ending was so rushed and so short. So overall, it was a good effort. After the match, we get some serious issues between Fatu and Kruger, and they start duking it out on the outside of the ring. And it looks as though Fatu is probably going to get kicked out of Contra Unit, and that Mads Kruger is cementing himself as the leader of Contra Unit. What a fall from grace for Jacob Fatu. So, guys, let's turn towards Ring of Honor's Honor for All event. This was a behind closed doors taping. We're going to have Tracy Williams taking on Taylor Rust in a Pure Rules match, a four-corner survival match. Quinn McKay taking on Trish Dora, Vita Von Star, and Holodead. We're going to see our GCW Tag Team Champions put their titles on the line with the Briscoes defending against the Second Gear Crew, AJ Gray and Effie. We're going to see Jonathan Gresham face off against Brody King to determine who will be the #1 contender. We will see LFI, Dragon Lee, Kenny King put the ROH tag titles on the line against the OGK. And finally, in the main event, it's Bandito, it's Flamita, it's a no disqualification match. So we got to have something that's going to start us off right and set the tone. And for that, we turn to Taylor Rust and Tracy Williams. And Hot Sauce and Taylor Rust do a very good job of having a quality match that keeps things moving and keeps everybody kind of going for what an opener should be. It's a nice technical match. I liked this one. They told a good story of Tracy Williams trying to just wear down Taylor Rust, and Rust saying, I got to use these rope breaks. And eventually playing into the wheelhouse of Tracy Williams of, now you've used your rope breaks. Now I'm really going to push the pace against you. You played into my hands. And commentary did a good job of talking about that. Taylor Rust is going to be able to pull out the win here. I liked this because it seems as though I think Taylor Rust is somebody they're looking forward to using and utilizing in the future. Nothing against Tracy Williams or anything like that, but Tracy Williams is a guy who we know very well for Ring of Honor. You want to continue to build up the people that you are introducing or reintroducing to your audience so that they will be able to be more believable. This turns us to our four-corner survival match. This is a #1 contender match for the Ring of Honor Women's Championship. And Holodead is going to be able to pull out the win here against Quinn Trishadora and Vita Von Star. This was a nice match in the sense that they had some good pairings, some good matchups throughout the course of the match. This one is going to go just under 14 minutes, but the women are going to have a chance to show out. There's not going to be a women's title match on the card, so you need to have the women's match be very strong. And these are 4 capable contenders to be able to put on a strong match. I will say that Quinn McKay and Vita Von Star were kind of the workhorses of the match, which I thought was kind of interesting considering Quinn McKay is still relatively new to wrestling. It's a lot of faith and a lot of trust that they're putting into her in order to carry these matches. But a lot of faith was put into the Briscoes when GCW had them win the GCW tag team titles. Now they're putting those titles on the line against AJ Gray, against Effie. We are getting a GCW match, or at least something of a GCW match, on a Ring of Honor show, which is pretty cool. And that's where we see Briscoes taking on this second gear crew. It's going to be kind of a quick match. It's just about 8.5 minutes long. The match is good. I think it went a little too quickly, but at the same time, I kind of understand it. If you're Ring of Honor, you're looking at these guys saying, "Hey, I want to give what TV time I have or what pay-per-view time I have to our titles, to our guys. You know, nothing, no slight to second gear crew or anything like that, or no slight to GCW, but we're kind of doing you a solid. We don't need to put this title match on our card. I mean, it does help us because interest in GCW has been increasing. So why not take advantage of that? But I'm going to try to give the time to my guys. And we know that people are going to tune in to watch the Briscoes regardless. So the Briscoes have a good match against second gear crew. They retain the titles. The kind of not in doubt. The outcome was not in doubt. And I think that's the other reason why the match was very quick. But this next match, this next one's a doozy. And this is when Brody King takes on Jonathan Gresham to become the #1 contender for the World Championship. My Ron, this one was a solid match. And this is where Jonathan Gresham is getting to shine. He is getting to put himself in the ring against somebody who is an incredible talent, incredible size, the David and Goliath story. I mean, as you can see right here, that is being told throughout this match. My goodness. It's hard hitting. It is physical. At some points, you're kind of like, holy shit, is Gresham going to be able to survive this? But man, Gresham continues to battle through. And when he does well in these matches, it just reinforces why he should have that chip on his shoulder. It's because of things like this. It's because he's just this damn good. And Gresham is going to pull out the win. Gresham is going to be our #1 contender. As on the last Fusion of Honor, you heard me talk about, man, I wonder what we're going to see when we see our Ring of Honor final battle. Who will be the #1 contender? Will it be Brody King? Will it be Gresham? Both of them have a good story against Bandito. Now we know. It's going to be Jonathan Gresham. And once I saw the outcome of this match, I was convinced that Jonathan Gresham is winning the Ring of Honor World Championship at Final Battle. And if there's anybody who deserves it, it's Jonathan Gresham. The man has really put Ring of Honor on his back and really done what he can to be a spokesperson for Ring of Honor and be the guy that they need to just take them forward and take them where they need to go. He is somebody who I've had the pleasure of seeing live, and it's a treat. He's really that damn good. And when he hit that forearm elbow in the back of Brody King's head and pinned him 1, 2, 3, middle of the ring, I was like, that's our future world champion right there. I really hope he wins the match. And I'm just a little sad that he does not already have a Ring of Honor TV title reign to his name, because when he wins or if he wins, he could lose. But if he wins the world title, it would mean that he then has held every single title that Ring of Honor has. Well, no, he hasn't had the 6-man titles. So there's still time, though. There's still time for the Foundation to try to take those from Shane Taylor real quick. Just make final battle. Just make final battle Gresham versus everybody, and that's the end of the era. I'll be there for all of it. There for absolutely all of it. Something else that I was there for. Oh, and no offense to the rest of them, this was match of the night for me. But something else that I was definitely here for was the tag title match, and this is when LFI, La Faction Ingobernable, Dragon Lee, and Kenny King are putting those tag titles on the line against the OGK. And this match felt like a lot of history is, I guess, the way to look at it. It felt as though you were really reminded what Ring of Honor means to some people. You could see it on Taven and Bennett's face, how much this match meant to them, meant to their journey, meant to the story of the kingdom, the story of OGK. I would have liked it if Maria had come out with them, just because of that, kingdom, OGK, the whole, all of that. It would have been really cool. She's busy doing board of directors stuff. But this was a really good tag match. This is, I think, no. I'm looking at the times now. It's the third longest match of the night. The Four Corner Survival match is the longest, 13:52, and this goes 11:59. But this was 12 minutes. This was a 12-minute match that worked very well. It's the story of the OGK trying to finally get those tag titles back. They've tried in the past, they've failed. And they're trying to pry them from the hands of people who don't really believe in what Ring of Honor stands for. Ring of Honor is just a place to make money for them, for Dragon Lee, for Kenny King, for LFI. And I think that it was a well-done match, a well-told story. I will say that I did, and I really, really wish that we could have gotten Ness for the review on this one. Because I think the three-time baby-making champ would have had some fun comments about the real finale of the match involving Amy Rose and Max the Impaler. So Bestia has a chair, and he's trying to get involved and use the chair to help LFI. Old tricks here. Old tricks. But Amy Rose shows up with Max the Impaler, and Max is going to put the hurt on Bestia and prevent him from really getting involved. And that's going to be part of what helps the OGK win this match. We do have new Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions, but why is this Amy Rose involvement important? Because as commentary points out, I think it's Coleman, he who laughs last, laughs the loudest, laughs the longest. LFI tossed her out. They said, we don't need you, after she became the greatest manager in Ring of Honor history to have managed the Tag Team Champions, TV Champion, and the World Champion all at the same time. She had the last laugh because she is influential in helping the OGK become the new tag champions. Congratulations to the OGK. Matt Taven was kissing the Ring of Honor logo on the entry ramp as they were leaving. It is very bittersweet. But we know that Final Battle is going to kind of put a cap on the era. And we know that Jonathan Gresham is going to be in that main event. And this main event here is non-title, but it will affect the health of Bandito when he's in that match, because it is a no disqualification match. Bandito versus Flamita. This is the finals of this story that is being told between Flamita and Bandito, the vitriol between the two of them, the hatred that they've had. This is a match that I felt could have been a little bit more of the violent side. Maybe they could have taken some tips and tricks and pointers from Violence Unlimited, but it was a good match. It didn't have too much of the no DQ aspect to me. Maybe I don't know. But that's just, I think, a tendency of luchadors to be crisp and be clean. So it's a hope that maybe was also let's not let Bandito get too hurt, because so many people are going to be bittersweet about what's happening in the final battle. We don't want anything to happen to Bandito beforehand and make us lose our main event. The match was good, though. Like I said, probably the second best match of the night for me. I really like that David and Goliath story that was told by Gresham and Brody King a little bit more. This match, I think, served as a nice capping of the story. But I will say that the match, not necessarily the match, but commentary, made me believe that things could still be a little bit Ring of Honor going forward. Because EC3 on commentary was doing a really good job of slowly kind of maybe sort of turning heel and sort of maybe indicating that he's going to be a threat for Bandito. And maybe Gresham loses. Maybe EC3 is there in April to come after him. I don't know. But it gives hope. And that's kind of the story of the pay-per-view, hope. We are hoping that Final Battle is good. We are hoping that we are not losing Ring of Honor as we kind of know it. We are hoping that whatever is in the future will be good, will be something we can look forward to. That is kind of the story of the pay-per-view, to say, hey, we know things are changing, but maybe we'll always be there for you. And maybe that's just wishful thinking. Who knows? Maybe I'm trying my best not to be cynical about the whole situation. We'll see how it all shakes out. I will say that going forward for Fusion of Honor for the rest of the year, I think Ness is going to be out. So I'm going to try to do something interesting. I'm going to try to have a revolving door, so to speak, of guests in the A chair. I consider myself the B chair. Because I'm just here to kind of host and let Ness do his thing. But I'm going to try to have guests on. Maybe they'll be from the True Heel Heat family. Maybe they will our normal lineup. Maybe it'll be people that you haven't seen before on the True Heel Heat YouTube channel. Either way, I want to thank you guys for tuning in, for continuing to tune in, for hitting that like button, for commenting, for sharing, for subscribing, for doing all the things that show us how much you support us. And we give all that love right back to you. So on behalf of myself, on behalf of the three-time baby making, who, if he could, would be here with me. Guys, remember, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. It's the holidays are fast approaching, and we want everybody to be safe. We want everybody to be healthy. Not like Jonathan Gresham after taking some of those chops and beating from Brody King. But hey, he got a number one contendership out of it, so I'm sure he's okay with that. Until next time, guys, take care of yourselves.